There are just some little bookish hobbies that I want to say on top of. New year, new books, haul. I took us to the wrong barn. Wait. Oh, damn. I love this. My probably top favorite audiobook. But I'm using natural light right now, which doesn't happen often. I'm sorry if it looks a little bit too bright. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Welcome to another ultimate book video. We did a book reset, which is basically like a bigger version of these little ultimate book videos that I like to do throughout the year. I wanted to do more of them this year than I did in 2024. There are just some little bookish hobbies that I want to stay on top of and I want to stay accountable for. Doing this video every couple of months is a good way to hold me accountable. First, having a fun little new year, new books haul of the books that I bought so far this year. I want to input them into my Notion tracker for my physical TBR. Then we are going to be talking about some audiobooks that I've been absolutely loving and why, like my favorite audiobook recommendations, because I feel like audiobooks are so underrated for some people. I love audiobooks so much. I have a decently long commute to work and that is just where I find my prime audiobooks. Spotify Premium, you can get like 15 hours of audiobook listening time a month. I also use Libby a lot for audiobooks, so we're gonna be going over those. And then we are going to be updating my reading journal. I have some spreads I want to show you, some new spreads that I did off camera, and also we're gonna be setting it up for February. And then we're going to be making a start on our physical TBR and reading a book today. That is our fun ultimate book video reset we're going to be doing today. Just in general, making sure like my book life is in order. But first I want to, my cat scratcher. I want to go through 7 books that I bought so far this year. Look, there was a special occasion. I took my friends to New York for the first time. They've been there but only very briefly, and we went to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I had already seen it with my mom, but my friends hadn't seen it, my boyfriend hadn't seen it, so we did a little fun weekend trip to the city. And of course we had to stop at Barnes & Noble. I know biggest Barnes & Noble in the world is in New York, but very classic me, I took us to the wrong Barnes. I took us to the one on 5th Avenue, and the biggest one is actually in Union Square. That was a little mistake on my part, but we still got some fun books. So of course we had to still get some books, even though we didn't go to the right Barnes. The Atlas Paradox. This is the last. Wait. Oh damn. I already have this book. I can't believe I did that. The last book is the Atlas Complex, isn't it? I thought this was the last book. It's not. It's the second book. I also have the second book. I have the normal version. Okay, whatever. You know what? Whatever. Now we have 2 versions of the same book. But I did get the Atlas Paradox. It has the gold sprayed edges. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and it is the second book. I thought it was the 3rd book. I literally have the Atlas Paradox like right here. The second book in the Atlas 6 series is like a dark academia type magical realism book where there are these 6 magicians and they are chosen because they all have special like natural magic powers, and they all get brought to be part of this society, and it's a society of Alexandrians in the Alexandrian library. First book is a bit like Hunger Games where they have to like compete to see who is gonna last to the next year, and then this book says it's about a raw world-changing power. I loved the Atlas 6. I thought it was so fun, such an interesting concept, but it did take me a long time to read. It's a very dense book. Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This is just like the original Peter Pan book. This is like the signature edition from Barnes & Noble, but this is basically the original Peter Pan story. And the reason I got this book is because I still have Never by Jessa Hastings, and I haven't decided if I'm going to read it yet or not. But people have said if you do decide to read it, and we all know that I have an issue where like if a book is on my physical TBR, I'm just like, well, I bought it, I might as well read it. I pre-ordered that book before I knew what like the contents was about, and that it was sort of like very controversial. There were some things in it that people didn't love and were very like sensitive to the master readers, I guess. So I'm still deciding on that book. I decided that if I do read that book, then I wanted to pick up the original Peter Pan, because everyone has said that if you do read Never, it'll make more sense and you'll understand the context more if you read the original book. And the last book I got is another special edition. Oh my goodness. Oh, my cats. It is another classic. It's Alice's Adventures in the Wonderland, and also the sequel, Through the Looking Glass. It has like little silver sprayed edges, and what I loved about it is it has fully colored pictures in it, and it's like a storybook. And I have been trying to build up my classics part of my library. I'm like slowly building my classics library up here, so I wanted to get Alice's Adventures in Wonderland to put up here. One thing about me, if there's a classic, I'm getting the special edition of it, because there's so many fun special editions. And those are the 3 books that I got at the New York Barnes & Nobles. I have 4 books to also add to our Notion, and I talked a lot about these books in my past video, my bookstore vlog video. So if you haven't seen that one, then like I'm not going to talk about these too much, because I talked about those a lot in that video. That is Sith and Sparrow, The Let Them Theory, Beg, Borrow, or Steal, and First Time Caller. We have these 7 books to add to our Notion template. Okay, so I did a full screen record of this Notion template in my book reset video, a list of my entire 2025 physical TBR. So we have every single book, title, the author, and whether or not like the status, whether it is a to be read book or a read book. This is how I figured out that I have 182 books on my physical TBR that I have not read yet. This is the way that I am going to be staying updated and making sure that I am getting through my physical TBR. We are going to go ahead and quickly add these 7 books to our little sheet. I feel like it's just so satisfying when I read a book on my physical TBR to come to this and check it off. Did it. Now that we are fully updated with our Notion template for our physical TBR, we're going to go ahead and put these books on my shelf. Let's go do some of our reading journal. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our couch, aka the place that I rot constantly. The place that I sit to do my reading journal. So we have all of our supplies next to me here. One of my favorite things to do when I'm doing my reading journal is put on a show or an audiobook. It's just such like self-care time in my opinion. Also getting sick, so sorry if you hear that. I have been obsessed with Tell Me Lies. I think I'm on season 2 now. We're gonna go ahead and put on Tell Me Lies in the background while we update our reading journal. Another one of my resolutions is to keep up with my reading journal. I have a whole video of me setting up like the main pages of my reading journal, the books read spread, everything like that. I'll leave that below if you're interested, but I did add some more stuff since then. I'm gonna show you those new spreads that I did, and then we're gonna start filling this out for these first month and a half. The couple new spreads I did is first this like yearly TBR spread. Pretty much copied this from Pinterest. It is my 25 books I want to read in 2025. We have like a little star theme going on. So these are all the books that I want to read. Next to them is a little not filled in star. So when I do read them, I'm going to fill that star in, and then I'm going to paste book covers here and the ratings underneath them. I bought sticker paper this year, which made my life so much easier as far as like filling in this reading journal. And the next one I did is our January spread. I love this cover page of January, like little scars, very winter themed. I did kind of mess up on this, so don't judge me too much on my penmanship there because I messed up. And then next to it is our January TBR with all of our books that we put on our January TBR, again using sticker paper. It was like the best idea ever. I think this spread is so cute. And then we have our January wrap up. Last year I did like a very narrative type tracking of my books where I would just write like a summary of them and like my thoughts, but that just took so long I couldn't keep up with it, so I decided to do a much more basic spread this year for our wrap-ups, and I think I like it a lot better. And then next to it I put all the videos that I posted in January, because 9 times out of 10 one of these books that I read is in a video. So like if I want to refresh my thoughts on how I felt about any of these books, I could just go rewatch a video, and I feel like that's so much easier than essentially talking about a book twice, one in written form and one in like video form. In all my wrap-ups, I talk about like the statistics of like the genres that I read, my favorite book, how many books and how many pages. I have to count up the pages of these 4 books. That's why I haven't put it in yet. And then my ratings are underneath. My favorite book was definitely Ruthless Fae, and this little pie chart for like this spread of genres that I read. And then these are all the videos that I posted. Again, just to sort of refresh my memory, like, hey, if you want to hear more about Wretched, maybe go watch the mood reading video that you did and talked about Wretched for a long time. Today, we're going to be working on our February spread because we just did our February TBR. But first, we are going to go through our overall spread and we're going to fill that in together. So while I put on Tell Me Lies, why don't you come look over my shoulder and we can do this together. The first page we have to fill out is our 2025 books read spread. I have little spots to put all of the book covers. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all those books on this Word doc and then going to stick them on. As for our 2025 overview, we could fill that out. For the month of January, we read 4 books. I have to figure out the number of pages again. No 5 stars. None of them were new buy books. 1.5 audiobooks, I would say. Fully listened to Ruthless Fae on graphic audio, and then I listened to half of Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. We did not read any books from Libby. 3 books that were on our 2024 TBR, and then on Kindle, I would say 1. Because even though I have the physical book, I read Wretched on Kindle. We have our favorite book, which was definitely Ruthless Fae. When I print these books, I'm going to print Ruthless Fae and then we can add that in. I love filling out my book bingo spreads. Actually, we did read a nonfiction, not in January, but February. I mean, it's the middle of February right now, so we're going to include those. Feel Good Productivity, a self-help book by a YouTuber, actually. I'll explain more about it in my February wrap-up. Oh, we did complete a series. We, Ruin and Rising, completed Shadow and Bone series. Wretched is a one-word title. We're gonna use Ruthless Fae as audiobook because, like I said, I listened to the graphic audio version of Ruthless Fae. We have 4 things to fill in for our book bingo. This is gonna look so cute. I love how book bingo looks when we fill it out some more, so I'm really excited for that. The alphabet challenge. I'm definitely gonna use Wretched for W because I feel like there aren't that many W books, and I feel like I should take advantage of the fact that I read Wretched. Because it's 2 R's, we'll do Ruin and Rising. And then again, 2 P's, we'll do Practice Makes Perfect for P. And then I think we could definitely do Zodiac Academy, Ruthless Fae for Z, because there are not a lot of books at all that have Z, so we need to take advantage of the Red Zodiac Academy. Messing with our things over here. No, little guy, not good for you. Guess we could do Cinnamon Bun Bookstore for C. Okay, yay! We filled out some of our alphabet challenges. That was easy because we are just at the start of it. We did not DNF any books so far this year, which is good. Read the Rainbow. So this is like overall the color of the book. Looking at the books that we read, you could kind of see here, there's not like a color like for Once Upon a Broken Heart. The overall color is definitely pink. There's not like an overall color for any of these books. Besides, I can think of like Wretched is like mainly black, but there's also some green in there. So I sadly don't think we can fill out our rainbow challenge yet. Now we are going to work on our February spread. I use a piece of like cardstock paper, do like our cover page, and then we do our TBR on one page. I already cut a pink piece of cardstock because I think this would be perfect, obviously, for Valentine's Day. We're gonna do like a Valentine's Day theme. And when I was looking on Pinterest yesterday, I saw this really cute cover page for February. Let me see if I saved it. How adorable is this? Isn't that so cute? The little envelopes, I think that's so adorable. Let's do this while we watch Tell Me Lies. Finished our February spread. I think this is adorable. Look how cute. I love the envelopes, and then for the TBR, I just did something simple and had hearts and dots all over the place. I think this is so Valentine's Day. I'm obsessed. That is our cover page and our TBR. And then we're gonna leave this spot for our wrap up. Oh my goodness. We will see that in another video. That is our reading journal done. I feel so good that we got this updated to current month. I think the sticker paper was actually life-changing. It's so much easier to put the books on here. Amazing. I highly recommend, if you have thought about it, just do a reading journal. I feel like it's so calming. That took me like 20-ish minutes to do, and it is very calming and relaxing. Now I have to run some errands, so let's hop in the car and then I'm gonna talk about the audiobooks that I have been loving lately. Hello friends, just listening to the new Book Talk song that just came out, Ordinary by Alex Warren. He didn't make it for Book Talk, but he did post something that was like, this is your song now, Book Talk, because it's so perfect. Ordinary, oh, I'm obsessed with it. It reminds me of Violet and Zayden so much. I've been like delaying reading Onyx Storm. That's why you haven't seen a reading vlog from me really, because I have this weird thing where like, when a really anticipated book comes out, I delay reading it for so long because I just don't want it to be over. Onyx Storm, absolutely. I do not want that book to be over. There's not even a like proposed release date for the next one. We're not gonna get the fourth book for so long. I already know. I am in my car right now. Don't worry, you're on a car mount. I'm not being unsafe. Like, drive safe, please. Since I was in the car and we're having this like bookish video, I was just going to turn on like an audiobook after listening to Ordinary because I am obsessed with that song. I listen to audiobooks a lot on my drive. I love audiobooks so much and I listen to them so much. I should share in our bookish video, our ultimate book video, the audiobooks that I love. Like if you need audiobook recommendations here are some of the ones that I am obsessed with. The first one that comes to mind is the one that I was just about to turn on, which is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, because I'm reading that book right now for another video, the romance book video. It should be out by now. I'm reading that book now, and I have been going on and off, like listening to it and reading it in the physical copy. I think it's a really good audiobook, and the reason is the person who plays Violet, not Violet, oh my god, see, I have Onyx Storm on my mind. The person that voice acts Annie, the girl POV, is perfect. Like, she is exactly how I pictured Annie sounding, and everything that she says, like, that voice actor just does it so well, just exactly how I picture the character talking. So I think that's a good audiobook. My probably top favorite audiobook is the graphic audio ones. When I read books, I have like a movie going in my head, and like I hear the characters in different voices in my head, if that makes sense. It makes me sound crazy, but it's like a movie in my head. And I know that when people read books, some people like don't see anything in their heads. I can't even imagine that, because I see like a whole movie in my head when I'm reading books, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love reading. The graphic audio version is just like putting exactly what's in my head onto like a physical thing that I can listen to, and it's so cool. The most recent graphic audiobook that I listened to is Zodiac Academy The Awakening and Zodiac Academy Ruthless Fae. I listened to both graphic audio versions of that, and I think they're so good. It's just so magical. The little sound effects are perfect for what the setting of Solaria and Zodiac Academy is. I'm actually gonna read the third one not on graphic audio, because it's not out yet and I don't feel like waiting, and it's gonna come out in 2 parts, which is like, oh my gosh, I hate that when audiobooks come out in 2 parts. That also reminds me of another graphic audiobook that I've been listening to, which came out in 2 parts, which is Fourth Wing. I didn't listen to the graphic audio version of Fourth Wing when I read it. I just like read it from my physical book. I didn't listen to any audiobook. But I've been nonstop talking about Onyx Storm, of course, to my boyfriend. I was like, just listen to the first book. You'll understand. Like, I want to be able to talk about this with you, knowing that you've read the story too. So I turned him on to the graphic audio version of Fourth Wing. And he said it was good. He was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I would definitely listen to that audiobook on the way to work. So he's now listening to Fourth Wing. The few chapters I listened to with him to get him started on it, it was very good. I think I heard an excerpt of Tarn, and that is how I pictured his voice sounding. So I think that one's good as well. And then also just not graphic audio versions, Butcher and Blackbird. I love that audiobook. I feel like I talk about that audiobook so much, because it was actually in a video where I listened to it in audiobook. It's really cool because it's a dual point of view. So it's between Sloane and Rowan, I think it was. Of course, there's a female voice actor for Sloane and a male voice actor for Rowan. However, the dialogue, like if there's a Sloane chapter and Rowan has dialogue, the actual male voice actor for Rowan does the dialogue. Does that make sense? Instead of like the voice actor for Sloane doing like a deeper voice to do Rowan's dialogue in her POV chapters. So that's so cool. Like, it just makes me think. It's not a graphic audio version, but they had like some sound effects in there. Like when it said Rowan laughed, the voice actor laughed in the background. Again, when Rowan had dialogue in a Sloane chapter, the male voice actor cut in and said his dialogue. Same with Sloane dialogue in a Rowan POV. The Sloane voice actor cut in and said her dialogue, which I like so much better, because I just feel like, especially with the male POVs for some reason, if there's a male POV and like obviously a male voice actor is saying it, the female character has a dialogue, the male's voice just gets higher. And I just feel like, I don't know, like I like that actually they said their own dialogue. I don't even know if I'm making any sense. I really hope I am, because it's hard to describe. Just listen to it and you'll understand. Those are the main ones that like stand out to me. I also just in general, The Fury, I think it's by Alex Nicolaides on audiobook, and that one was so good because the way that the book is written, the narrator is like telling the reader a story as he's like saying what happened. He says, oh, let me go back, I forgot to tell you this, and then you remember this person, no, well, he came in. Like, you're just hearing someone's story. They're talking to you very conversationally, and like you're across the bar from them. But lastly, also just thrillers in general. I like the audiobook thrillers just because with thrillers, I don't know what it is about me, but if there's a cliffhanger on one chapter or like in the middle of a chapter, I do like, so it's a really bad cliffhanger that I really want to figure out, I will skip a few chapters or a few pages and just like scan to make sure like everyone's okay. Like if a character dies in one chapter, I will scan ahead and see if the character is actually still alive. It's bad. I know, I spoil it for myself with some mysteries and thrillers, but that's why I love the audiobooks, because I cannot skip ahead. Just some little audiobook recommendations if you're looking for some good ones. Those are the ones that come to my mind. I'm sure there's more, and in future videos maybe I'll make this like a little thing in our like wrap-ups or something where I just say like which audiobooks I really liked that month. I just want to come on here and update that. I'm gonna turn on Practice Makes Perfect. I will see you in a little bit.
No, you may not stay. Out you go. Yeah, not happening.
Okay, hello everyone. To continue our ultimate book video, I wanted to do some reading, because what's an ultimate book video without some reading? So I was thinking about what book I wanted to get into, but then I realized that I'm actually in the middle of a book that I really like and wanted to talk about anyway, and it's also on our 25 books I want to read in 2025 list, and that is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I only started a couple days ago. I'm on chapter 9. Look at this note that Evangeline just got. Scarlet Dragna! I miss them so much. I was wondering how this story was going to intertwine with Caraval. Where we're at right now with Once Upon a Broken Heart, it is a romantasy if you didn't know, but basically Evangeline Fox, she enlisted the help of the Prince of Hearts, aka Jax, because her one true love was marrying her sister, her stepsister. She wanted to stop the wedding, and because Jax is a faith, faiths can't really be trusted with deals in this world, he ended up enlisting Poison's help, another fate, and turning all of the wedding guests to stone. And the only way that they could turn not to stone is if Evangeline took their place. Things are obviously evolving from there, from people knowing that Evangeline was the one who saved the wedding type thing, even though she kind of caused it at the same time. It's kind of a secret that she's also the one that caused it. We are going to keep reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. They just said the whole plot line to Caraval, and I miss that world. I'm hoping I fall just in love with this world, as I did with Caraval. Hello friends, it is me. I'm here to explain that we are actually going to be including the Once Upon a Broken Heart book that we started in this video in my next video. Don't be mad, I'm sorry, I just have so much footage of this book. It would be 45 to 50 minutes long, this video. It was so much footage that I needed to include it in another video, and I didn't want this video to be like super long because I knew my next video was gonna be super long. Little explainer there, we will be talking about Once Upon a Broken Heart, and you'll see that reading vlog in the next video that I have coming up on Saturday. I am literally editing and I'm like, this is too much. This is literally too much to put in one video because I didn't want this video to be long, like too long, and it's already like 30 minutes. So I'm sorry to do like a little teaser in this video, but I did really love this book. I'm really looking forward to showing you all my reactions to it on Saturday. That is gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for coming along with me these last couple of days doing bookish stuff. I had so much fun. I feel so organized and ready to really crush those reading goals this year. That sounds aggressive, but it made me feel so calm and ready to read some really good books this year. So yeah, that is gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.